50 Cent is once again making headlines, this time with a new claim that didn't make it into his Netflix documentary about Diddy. According to 50, there was simply too much content to fit into just 4 episodes, and some allegations had to be excluded. One such claim, he says, involved Diddy secretly having a child with a woman who had previously dated Tupac Shakur. His team decided to leave this story out due to time constraints. He added that instead of waiting for another season, he might release the extra footage on YouTube. 50 also mentioned that since the documentary aired, more people have reached out with new information, questioning why he is going after Diddy so aggressively. And the real reason, he says, will shock you. TK Kirkland recently shared his perspective on why 50 Cent approached Diddy's story so forcefully. From the start, TK emphasized that many fans are missing a key point. Some believe 50 is just being petty or seeking attention, but TK insists there's much more behind it.
All the women in the world that Diddy could have gotten with, he chose 50 Cent's baby mother.
There's a lot of variables to this particular question. Because I talk to a lot of people, older, younger, even my daughter, who's 22, she didn't understand it. So people give their opinion based on what they've experienced and their environment, people they've been around. So to the people that understand boundaries and respect, I always tell men you should never date another man's girl if you're not aware of it. If you know it, then...
He said that such behavior shows a lack of respect. TK explained that in his entire life, he has never knowingly dated someone who had been with one of his friends. To him, that is simply something you don't do. He highlighted that Diddy is far from someone with limited options. He has fame, wealth, and connections worldwide. Because of that, TK believes Diddy's decision to get involved with 50's child's mother was deliberate. In his view, it was intentional, especially considering the long-standing tension between Diddy and 50.
And after the baby mother of one of his rivals.
Exactly.
Someone who had been taking shots at him for years.
Absolutely.
On purpose.
And he went after her knowing that they had beef.
Right. And slutted her out.
Slutted out.
Just slutted her out.
Slutted out.
Having a whole basketball team run a train on her.
Totally did. I totally
the whole
agree.
thing, right?
Totally agree.
Right.
But his reputation from when he worked at Uptown, I'll be sure's girlfriend.
Oh, Kim Porter.
Kim Porter.
Right.
That's his reputation.
I'll be sure his baby mother.
Baby mama.
Yeah.
Then, Eric Serm, his friend, the one that she had his baby, Mia. So he's had a reputation of going after people.
Tupac's ex-girlfriend. He got a baby with her too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my point that I'm making to the men listening, well, if you don't understand this, then you're just poorly educated and don't really have common sense. It's a no-no. There's no way I would go after Vlad's ex-girlfriend.
Right.
I'm so loyal that if I met a woman and she said, oh yeah, I used to date Vlad. Oh, I can't with you, babe.
Right.
I won't even put my, excuse my language, because that's how I move. Other people don't move like that, but you see me in Paris, you see me all over the world. Why would I want to do that to mess up a relationship?
While 50 Cent's documentary has received widespread attention and praise, not everyone views it as a complete success. Gene Deal has stepped forward with serious complaints, claiming that parts of the documentary were unoriginal and that his ideas were used without acknowledgement.
I seen an interview about, he said that he had, a lot of footage had to be down, the documentary had to be downsized. You understand? I don't really believe that, because a documentary is a documentary, and they could have had 45 minutes, they could have had an hour, to each one of those. You understand? They left out certain things. He said they even left out the one about Sarah Chapman. You understand? And for whatever reason, he probably left out a lot of other different stars too. Situations that they could have spoke about. You understand? I have a problem with the documentary, and I'm just gonna let you know that the reason I have a problem with the documentary is that they know that they took my idea. You understand? They know that when I came to them, I laid out what they should do and how the documentary should be. You understand? She can say whatever she want to say. I talked to those producers before I even talked to her. They wanted to know what I had, what I was bringing, my pictures, all that stuff like that. And I told them about me, Tim, and Kirk. You understand what I'm saying? And how it would go. They did the same thing. This ain't the first time they stole from me, man. You know, if you look at the Notorious Big, if you watch the Notorious Big, that part about the shoes, I had that in my book. And I was talking to K.O. Copeland. He was one of the writers of that movie. And I told him about when I let Big use my shoes at Soul Train Award. You had this old flunky ass dude, Mike B, get on Angie Martinez's show and talk about, yo, Big, he wore mixed max shoes and he went out there and performed. When you go look at the film, when you go look at Big performing that on that show, ain't nothing mixed match about them shoes. There was $800 Maury's, size 14D, Big World 14E. E means that his shoes is a little wider than mine. He struggled, but he put them on and he went out there and performed. Those was my Gators that he had on. You understand? They did a little skit trying to disrespect me in the movie. You understand? And they said something about, oh, we got this from Big Tex.
Gene also discussed rumors that 50 may release more content online in the future. He believes that if more footage is released, Diddy will be powerless to stop it. In his opinion, if the documentary could have been shut down, it would have already happened, reflecting how much influence Diddy still holds, or perhaps no longer holds, behind the scenes.
Documentary, and if 50 do another one, and I heard he's gonna put it on YouTube or do whatever he's gonna do, Puff ain't gonna have nothing to do with that. Puff ain't gonna have nothing to do to try to stop that because he can't. Because if he could stop it, it would have been stopped. You know why he can't stop it? Because Puff know people right there at Netflix. Don't think he don't. And I don't know if this guy still worked for them, but he was part of the flavor unit, Shakim. He was part of the flavor unit. He was good friends. He was cool with Puff and them. Flavor unit and them, Queen Latifah and them, they was cool with Puff. If Puff would have sent the cease and desist over there and they could do it and he had the power and they wasn't right, they would have been done it. You see, it's still rolling, right? It's still going on, right? He ain't got that power no more. You understand? Now, could he sue them because they use his likeness or use them and stuff like that? I don't know. I'm not that versed in they using him. You understand? If they can steal your whole damn idea, your whole damn idea, why can't they steal your whole damn intellectual property? That's what they do.
Gene also mentioned how Diddy had a strange fixation on Tupac, which seemed to influence almost every aspect of his life.
I did see the interview that 50 did with Sherry, and he was talking about he didn't release the video about Puff having a kid by Kim Porter's friend, Sarah Chapman. Now, we all know that she used to date Tupac. You understand? So either he got her because he wanted some remnants of Tupac. We don't know. But it seemed like every dude that he had some kind of disdain, dislike, or that he idolized in a sense, he wanted their girl. Or he wanted to be a part of their girl. I don't know why. Yo, bro, this dude was, I don't know if he was in love or in hate for Tupac. He wanted to be an actor. He auditioned for Juice. But Pac beat him out for that Bishop thing. You understand what I'm saying? He wanted to be a part of that. Just go, and not so many years ago, when Puff started getting into that drugs and started using drug stuff, he started revamping some of Tupac's speeches. And if you think I'm lying, go look at the Grammy speech he did. Go look at a couple of speeches he did. It was the same exact words Tupac had said. that he was going to start this whole revolutionary of our people. That's Tupac. Black Lives Matter, the Black Liberation Movement, that was Pac. The Black Liberation Movement. Black Lives Matter? Come on, bro. This dude, everybody know that he had some kind of, I don't want to say disdain taste, but he had some kind of, I don't, jealousy of Tupac, bro. He had this jealousy of Tupac.
However, the documentary isn't completely candid. One notable omission for many viewers was the lack of focus on Kim Porter. She was Diddy's longtime partner and the mother of his children. She passed away unexpectedly in 2018 at the age of 47. While the official cause was pneumonia, many speculate that Diddy played a role in her death. Kim had been closely involved in Diddy's life for years.
Do you think that Diddy killed Kim Porter?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because of all the videotapes, because of the book, because of all the people she gave copies of her book to, or at least chapters, because of everything that she had on him, because of the tape that she used to blackmail him into a relationship and into a raise of him being sodomized by Andre Harrell. And I am not saying that allegedly, because I heard her and Kim Moore talking about it in the booth of the bathroom while snorting cane at the Kit Kat Club.
She witnessed his personal life, business dealings, and behind-the-scenes activities. Yet, the documentary barely mentioned her story. Multiple sources suggest the omission was intentional, possibly due to the sensitive or controversial nature of the topic. Jean, who knew Kim personally and sometimes looked out for her, believes she was aware of a lot.
It was alleged that she did have a book and that her book was about to come out. And she was talking about all the perils, everything that she went through in the music business and with Diddy. All the men that they slept with together, because there were men that they slept with together. There were swinging times that they slept with together. I don't know, man. How do you put your girl through some shit like that? Or how you look at your girl and knowing that she to another dude? What kind of demonic mind you have to be that far gone where that shit don't bother you, and got rid of them. They swimming with the fishes.
Wow, man. So she was about to expose all that in her book, them sleeping with men together.
She was going to expose everything. I heard it was tell all.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Just curious, right? Did you know that Diddy and Kim had that type of relationship back then in real time?
Yeah. Yep. Because I know somebody personally that lives in Atlanta that was swinging with them. And I would never mention his name because he's a good brother and he knows my family down there. You know, he knows my family down there. And I would never, put his name out there like that. He's been in the music business. He done put a lot of groups, A-listed groups out there. Especially A-listed groups from Atlanta.
None of that information made it into the documentary. Only a few photos were shown, and she was briefly mentioned as the mother of Diddy's children before the film moved on. For someone so central to his life, this silence raised questions. Mark Curry also shared a troubling story about Kim Porter and Diddy. He claimed that Diddy monitored her private conversations and would react angrily if he heard things he didn't approve of. Mark recalled a specific incident when Diddy became enraged after hearing about a phone conversation Kim had with producer Shakir Stewart. Later, at a party, Diddy confronted Shakir and attacked him with a chair.
It was the other day they just did a whole thing with the girl that he was dating was the one that was putting the wiretaps and all of that out. was a clear case. She came, okay, hey, I was the one who was doing the wiretaping and all of this, right? The tapping. So I knew about this before she came out and said that she was the one that was doing it. I was sitting there like, damn, he know everything she doing. He know her conversation. I'm sitting there like when I'm sitting there right there next to him, when I'm hearing them saying, this is what Shakira Stewart was saying to Kim Porter on the phone that made him mad. That made him so mad at Shakira Stewart when he went to L.A. Reid party, hit him with the chair. You don't think if he hit a man with a chair for dating this girl, you know, they're going to have a fight at home too. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, they say, he busts her nose up on the boat. And have you ever been to Sandro Pay's here? Brother play a mandolay. Remember that was in his song? I need a good woman next to me. So then it happened in what was it, Sandro Pay? Like that island. And then he bust her nose. They had a shit. She said, they tried to make it seem like she slipped and fell. She slipped and fell and broke her nose. Nah, the truth was she slipped and fell and landed on his fist. Yeah, but that's what happens when you put your hands on females. I don't really have much respect for a man who's physically abusive towards women, man. I kind of think they be kind of suspect. I'd be like, man, you know, I girls fight girls.
This, it seems, was typical of Diddy's behavior. Another suspicious aspect of the documentary was its portrayal of Diddy's famous parties. For decades, these events were known to attract powerful figures from all industries, celebrities, athletes, and major influencers alike. Yet, the documentary barely showed any of this. No big names, no detailed accounts. This is particularly strange given that many of these individuals have publicly been associated with Diddy for years, yet remained silent in the film.
Your thoughts on all the his celebrity friends that denounced those allegations and were like, this is false, and you know,
liars.
They were saying, yeah, should they speak up now?
It's getting a little too late for those who are complicit. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. Or for Justin Bieber alone.
Jaguar Wright also believes that too much focus is placed on the music industry, while little attention is given to Diddy's early life. She suggests that the real story of his development begins at home. She revealed that Diddy may have witnessed challenging situations as a child while his mother focused on her own life, often with strangers coming and going. According to Jaguar, growing up in such an environment can leave lasting psychological impacts, potentially shaping the man he became long before fame entered the picture.